make sure you like, comment, and subscribe for more spooky stories. I made a mistake. In 7 days, a demon or a dark goddess will possess my body and I will disappear. What have I done? It all started when I was doom scrolling in bed, watching TikToks after a hard day at work. My boss and supervisor hated me. I didn't want to be here anymore. Flicking through influencers with perfect lives, people begging for money, and various not-so-subtle ads to click someone's damn affiliate link. I'm not sure how the algorithm decided to show me this. Maybe it heard me tell a friend I was desperate for a change, willing to try just about anything. But I found a spell on TikTok that would help me gain everything I ever wanted. Money, fame, love, everything. The account name was Regina Inferni. I'd seen her videos come up before. I figured I had nothing else to lose by attempting it. At the end of the video, she said, "Beware. Some people aren't ready to gain all they truly desire. See you next time," and blew a kiss at the screen. I put it on repeat, watching it for a while, and figured it was worth a shot. I had to memorize the lines or incantation. I'm not sure if it's an evocation or invocation, but either way, screenshotting the instructions for reference, and I texted a friend about it, telling her what I intended on doing. She was interested in this sort of thing, and was surprised that I was going to attempt it. She told me not to do it, and to be careful. I didn't have to wait to conduct the ritual, fortunately having everything I needed already. Gathering them all together, and placing them on a black folded towel, a large black pillar candle, a strand of my hair including the root, I pulled out with a wince, a vial of my menstrual blood, some wine in a pre-opened bottle, a bowl, a sharp knife, a cup, and I copied the symbol, or what I discovered was a sigil on a piece of paper. I had to be naked, or sky-clad as they said, so locking the door so my roommates wouldn't just come in was essential. I didn't want to be disturbed, nor receive any strange questions about my activities. I had the bowl ready. Using a sharp knife, I cut the tips of my 3 middle fingers, wincing sharply, pressing them, and allowing the blood to trickle into the bowl. The video said it had to be a decent amount, squeezing my fingers more, and finally, there was enough. Sucking them to stop the bleeding, a part of me wondered what the hell I was doing. I lit the candle by striking a match. The flames flickered highly and brightly. I added my menstrual blood to the mixture, stirring it, trying to ignore what it was, painting my forehead in the blood with the symbol, between my breasts and on my pubis. I couldn't believe I was actually doing it, shivering from doing the ritual in winter, and the ritual calling for no distractions, no heating, no devices, nothing. Pouring the wine into the chalice, stirring it clockwise with my finger 3 times. On my knees, I held the cup up like a chalice, a sacred offering up into the air, and I had to forget how silly this must have looked. It didn't even flow, nor did it rhyme. O great being from below, fill me with your blessing. Use my body as a vessel for all time. May you, O great one, give me the riches of my heart. Great and terrible ruler, queen and mistress of all unseen, she who rules for eternity, I use this blood to bind us, wine and blood as an offering, O great and mighty destroyer, and forever I yield to you. Bringing it to my lips and drinking the blood mixed with wine, swallowing it down and tilting my head backward, closing my eyes, I expected to see or hear a sign to let me know the ritual had worked, some message of the infernal divine to tell me I'd done the right thing. Instead, I just felt silly, wiping the excess away with the back of my hand. I started to wash it off, blowing out the candle, and watched while the smoke twisted high, rinsing out the cup, and lifted the strand of hair, realizing I hadn't even used it in the ritual, and placed it in the bin. A sharp, sudden exhaustion flooded through me. My limbs felt heavy, and walking to bed, plonking myself on the surface, I immediately fell asleep. Surrounding me were an array of ghastly, terrifying faces, with their hands reaching out to me from the eerie shadows. They moaned and whispered, cursed in ancient tongues, and I screamed at them to leave me alone. I tried to push past them, only to have awakened with feelings of being crushed. I knew I had made a mistake. Day 1. Laying on my back, staring up at the ceiling fan, with the morning sun peering in through the window. My limbs felt weak, heavy, and I rubbed my eyes with a drained yawn, reaching out to pull the cord to close the blinds, sharply shut, and felt at ease in the dark. It wasn't abnormal for me not to wake up in the morning. My mind kept wondering about the dream I had last night. Rolling over, I texted my friend and told her I did it, and nothing happened except a weird nightmare. I had another message from the work group chat demanding I come in early and work late today. Naturally, they wouldn't be paying me more. I was lucky to even have a job in this economy, but that didn't mean I had to like it. I hated being stuck in a dead-end job. Curious, I checked the person's profile I got the spell from. Regina Inferi, one of the more prominent witch talkers on the app. There were 2 new videos promoting a necklace of some kind. Rolling my eyes, I flicked away and doom-scrolled before getting up. I couldn't rot in bed all day. Walking into the bathroom, leaning on the sink and staring into my reflection, there were still traces of red and black outlines where the symbols had been on my forehead, chest, and pubis. I didn't realize I hadn't managed to clean it all off. Turning on the faucet and first using some water, it didn't work. Then I used makeup remover and started rubbing my hands together and washing my face, only to find that too didn't work. I didn't have time to worry about it, but I scrubbed those sites in the shower, hoping it would fade. My shower went as normal, my alarm ringing to let me know I was late. After drying my face and body, checking in the mirror, and yes, it was still there. Using concealer to hide the worst of it, and finishing the rest of my look. You didn't notice the marks unless you were looking intently. The only thing I saw that was remotely spooky was a feeling of being watched from the shadows or the corners of the room. I guess spending all my time watching this kind of content had taken its toll. Closing the bathroom door to keep it out, I kept feeling like someone or something was standing there, waiting for me to come out. When I opened the door and walked out into the hallway, I discovered, surprise, surprise, no one. I readied myself for work, grabbed my keys and headed out. It was a normal day, other than a weird feeling in the pit of my stomach. Coming home, I ate, cleaned myself up, and went to bed. I think it worked. Who knows, maybe I'll try another one in the future. My life can't get any worse. Day 2. Waking up with a groan and stretching my arms and legs out at the same time. I was feeling okay, and reached for my phone before I got out of bed. Curiosity plagued me, and I couldn't resist commenting on the video of the spell with a Hey, just wanting you to know that I tried this out. How long does it take to work? And she, Regina that is, replied with 7 eyes emojis and nothing else. Weird. I'd figured she'd ask how it was going or what I thought about it. Scrolling through, I couldn't find if anyone else tried it. Some people said they were going to try it this evening. Or they had tried it 6 days ago. There were some concerning ones, such as, be careful when doing this. This isn't what you think it is. If you try this, girl, give me the tea. And I hope no one is stupid enough to try this. Staring at it, I debated responding and put my phone down again. No one else replied directly to my comment. Strange. There was one other comment of someone who had allegedly conducted the ritual. I clicked on the profile of one of the people who said they had done it. One of 2. They used to post nearly daily, but had stopped about 3 weeks ago. Most of their content had been feel-good, cozy core style, of her happy and looking vibrant. One video caught my eye. Clicking on it, I saw a young woman's face with teary mascara running down it, and only the light of her phone lit up the room. She said, "Guys, I did it. I did Regina Inferni's spell. Something went wrong." She kept looking into the corners and focused on something. "She's here. Look, look. Can you guys see her?" She pointed the camera in the direction of the empty space by the doorway. Wrinkling my nose, I expected a jump scare to terrify me, but nothing came. It was hard to see from how much her hand trembled. There were comments saying there was nothing there and she was a liar. It was a hoax, or she was doing it for attention. As for the other profile, it had been deleted. I had a nagging feeling I had forgotten something. You know that lingering feeling that wouldn't ease up and would just not fade? Out of the corner of my eye, I thought I saw something. I ignored it. Other than that, I continued on with my regular day with no further interruptions. Other than another absolutely dreadful day at work, that is. Being yelled at, not being given adequate time nor materials to actually do it properly, rude and demanding customers, and the threat of employment termination hanging over my head at all times. Day 3. My sleep was interrupted, disturbed, and I tossed and turned all night. I dreamt of a cloaked figure with a skeletal hand extended out to me. I don't know if they wanted to take me or give something to them. I didn't feel threatened by it, but most definitely unsettled. The creator, Regina Inferni, had made another video about the fame she achieved through her spell work. And since curiosity got the best of me, I DM'd her. "Hey, I did your spell. Weird things are happening. Can you help me?" All she answered was with a, "When?" And I told her, "A couple of days ago. This is the 3rd day." She sent back 3 devil emojis and said, "Have fun." In shock, I commented on her video, telling her she should tell people about the risks. She responded, making a TikTok of it, and she was laying down with her altar in the background, telling her audience they need to research and be responsible for any spell they cast. Which wasn't wrong. She held up my comment as an example, resting it on her palm and giving a sarcastic smile. "If you do something like this, I recommend you get help. Hopefully you'll do it wrong and nothing will happen to you." She looked at the camera, and I swear she was looking directly at me. For a split second, I thought her eyes changed. No glow or altered color. Just different. Someone else was in control of her body. I wonder what she had wanted, what her desires were. I found I was avoiding looking at my reflection. It didn't look like me anymore, and in the few glimpses I took, the expression was different. Calmer, more regal. My skin didn't feel like mine. Walking in a haze into the kitchen to see my roommate slicing into pieces of juicy steak. The sight of the meat sent a shiver through me. The red juice leaking from the meat. If only I could reach out and just...
You must finish the rite.
I spoke with words and a voice not my own. My roommate gave me a quizzical look. I went to the kettle and turned it on, awkwardly waiting while it heated up, and resting my back on the kitchen cabinet. My roommate was doing her weekly meal prep. The different meats and vegetables hogging space on the kitchen counter. All the meat being sliced. Ignoring it, pouring the hot water into a mug, stirring up some instant coffee, and pouring in some creamer. The aroma of flesh was intoxicating. When my roommate ducked away to answer a call, I picked up a piece of raw meat, gobbling it up and walked away. Ashamed. Sure, there are parts of the world that ate raw meat, so it had to be okay. The only issue is, I'm a vegan. This isn't normal for me. Grabbing my coffee and retreating back to my room, locking the door, exhaling and resting my back on it, picking up my phone, looking at Regina Inferni's profile, and her latest videos were of her humming to herself, swaying with her eyes closed, and I could see smoke in the background. I wasn't sure what it meant. I stared down at my plate of vegan lasagna, a meal I normally would have loved, and I couldn't keep any food down. I couldn't even look at it without feeling sick. I checked her profile again. She blocked me with no way to contact her. I tried looking for her account on the gram. Blocked there too. I paced in a small area in my room, back and forth on the spot, between the door and my wardrobe, pondering what I should do. Since I couldn't reach out to the creator, and my friends didn't believe me, I didn't know who to turn to. The air felt heavy inside my room. Under the moon's full light, I went out into the backyard again, and the cool air soothed my burning skin. Staring up at the sky, the relief flooded me first, and then a sense of euphoria filled me. Without control of my body, I started dancing under the moonlight, without caring about the angry outbursts from my neighbors, while I started singing in a language unknown to me. I knew the words. I knew her words, and they had become mine. Day 4. My body is sore. I figured from my wild dancing last night. I can't explain it. My skin has broken out into hives, itchy red bumps I couldn't stop scratching, and I noticed more hair in my hairbrush than usual today. I can't stop shivering. I feel drained. Maybe the stress of the situation has given me a 24-hour virus? I told a friend about it, and they said it was all in my head. I can't remember the term they used, that I believed it worked, and seeing all the negative comments took a toll on me. They unhelpfully told me I need to get out and touch grass. Thing is, it did sound like a good idea. Stepping outside into the small shed backyard. Getting outside in the late afternoon, right before dusk. Maybe they're not wrong. Taking it easy, I sat in the community garden, seeing the place in the grass where I'd swirled and danced last night. Trying to get close to nature and get a chance to breathe. Some of my neighbors walked past, giving me dirty looks, but no one said anything. I felt my cheeks go red, avoiding their gaze when I felt Something urged me not to. Instead, I looked at them directly, fearlessly, and my eyes felt strange. They hurried to get inside their cars, closing the doors and speeding off wherever they had to go. Sitting on the fence marking the boundary, a crow or a raven, I could never tell the difference, had been looking at me. They weren't common in this area. It never blinked, nor did its attention sway. There was something unsettling about it. It didn't feel like a normal bird. Perhaps this was part of the ritual. I didn't wait to find out. I rushed back inside, sliding the door behind me and staring out the window to see it still looking at me. It watched me through the window, occasionally pecking at the glass to be let inside. Sitting down, I felt my head grow heavy, and suddenly the raven was inside my house, on top of the table. Effortlessly, it walked across the items, flew at my face, and held open my eyelids with its talons, gazing deep into its eyes. Blinking, it replaced its own eye with images of the goddess's blood rituals. A purification of blood and rage. A promise made was not yet fulfilled, and a darkness took me. Day 5. I woke up to see her face gazing down at me. Sure of it. She caressed me, her naked body barely concealed by the transparent fabric that only highlighted her curves. It left nothing to the imagination. Her hand lifted my chin to meet her lips, and at the last moment, I turned my head away. She didn't get angry. I slipped into a lack of consciousness. I was sure I wasn't dreaming. What the hell was this? The days faded, and becoming conscious again at midday, I found myself on the bathroom floor, the cold tiles beneath me, staring down at my hands, drenched in blood and swaying on the spot. Gasping, I looked down to see the corpse of who I thought was my roommate, but picking up a piece of bright yellow fabric, holding it in my fingertips and recognizing it. My work uniform. Something dug into my hip, picking up a piece of broken name tag and wiping the gore away with my thumb, only to see Langer and manager. It was her, the boss I hated. I wanted her to go away. Perish? Maybe. I couldn't see any skin, with only raw chunks of flesh, the walls coated red with blood that dribbled down in ribbons with ash, in a strange writing I couldn't read. Staring up at the walls. How? Why? I don't remember any of this. Burnt out black, white, and red candles circled the floor, with the aroma of incense filling the room. Using the bath to pull myself up with a groan, my legs straining and standing shakily on my feet, I blinked, realizing that my eyes were clear now, and I felt healthier than I had for a long time. Unsure what to do, I started cleaning up the bathroom, picking up the candles and picking the wax off the bathtub and threw them in the bin. They were hard and cold, so they had been used some time ago. I thought about the ritual. I pledged my service to her. I knew this, but I remembered my thoughts traveled to the anger I felt at my colleagues, my living situation. I didn't know I was capable of violence. Day 6. The blackouts are becoming more frequent now. I can't predict when they will happen. I know one happened early in the morning at 3 a.m. and later at midday. I'm no longer in control of my body. I lose track of lapses of time, and only becoming alert at the last moment when I realize that I've hurt someone. Usually someone I knew. I'd make it home, clean up, and try to work out what to do. The police would be after me. They have to be. I keep waking up in strange places, usually surrounded by blood, entrails. I'm not sure if they're human or animal. No, it was human. It had to be. Someone who offered some slight toward me that I repressed or thought I moved on from. I wasn't sure which is worse, the knowing or not knowing what was happening. I remembered locking my bedroom door, determined to keep myself inside. I couldn't continue hurting people, and every time I fought it, I was met with an intense headache, feeling daggers prying into my skull, gritting my teeth together, begging for it to stop while I fell on my knees. And I knew I was lying to myself. I enjoyed this. The last time I killed was in a local park, and I just ran home. Naked, and onlookers were screaming, asking me if I was okay. I begged them to stay away, screaming and managing to find the key hidden under the welcome mat. Unlocking the door, running inside, and slamming the door behind me. I didn't want to hurt anyone else. Deep down, a part of me wanted to. I loved the sight of fear in their eyes. Their pleading, their surprise that I, of all people, would strike them down. I knew something was wrong when more head fog would come. I saw her, pointing her out to my sister during a FaceTime call, asking her if she saw the dark goddess standing there, crowned with pointed regalia, with horns from her skull. This time the figure had flesh, a rich womanly body with an enchanting and equally terrifying face. My sister told me she was going to call someone because there was no one there. But there was. She was there, the dark goddess's hand extended, both in offering and demand. And I knew what I had to do. Her hand in mine, her body soon pressed against me, her hands on either side of my face, and kissed my lips. Tender, gentle, she entered me a final time, and the change was immediate. Day 7. I changed. I'm still me, yet she resides in me. I hear her whisper, no longer scared of confrontation. My skin more smooth, eyes more alluring, and I'm no longer concerned with money or human matters. Now realizing the ritual was nearly complete, I thought the murders would be enough. But no, the final piece of the puzzle needed to be taken. Looking into the mirror, seeing her reflection in place of mine, perfection personified, cloaked with darkness, and wearing a crown of sharp, deadly prongs, flanked on either side by her twisted horns. Each time her appearance altered ever so slightly. Her eyes were gentle, encouraging. I knew I couldn't disappoint her. This would be the final piece of the puzzle. She, my queen, was different for each person. A mother to some, a lover, a cold-blooded killer, a teacher, and for me, an avenger. I could hear my sister calling out to me, pounding her fist on the door, and pleading with me to open it to let her in. Strange. She must have come from interstate to see me. But there was no need. My goddess wanted to help me, for us to become one. My sister's voice faded into the background, with the real world passing away. Instead, I was muffled with the warmth of her, my queen's embrace, a promise I could never deny her. Why would I want to? I reached out to the knife, staring into the mirror, and she inclined her head.
Has to be. Buddy, it has to be.
Closing my eyes, exhaling to gain my courage, and first slides down from my elbow to my wrist, feeling the knife through sensitive skin and the spray of blood coating the tiles on the floor, walls, and sink. Swiftly changing hands, I did the same to the other wrist, and with a trembling hand, barely able to hold it steady, I sliced it across my throat. The blood burst and I gargled, staring devotingly into the mirror, grasping the cup, scooping up the blood and saluting her, before swallowing it down while I choked, my chest rattling with the final gasp as my body died.
Your petition is accepted, dear one. Your suffering is no more. We are one.
I hope you enjoy this story. What did you think of it? Let me know what you thought in the comments section down below. Don't forget to stab the like button, subscribe, hit the bell and leave a comment. This video is made with the support of my incredible channel members, Patreon subscribers, and all my viewers. Thank you so much for supporting me. Don't forget to check out my social media accounts below, including my merch. Stay safe, my little spooklings. And remember, I'll be watching you.